As Donald Trump prepares to take the office as the US president, a new plan is being introduced by Tom Homan, who will become the Border Czar for his administration. Homan, who used to head the Immigration and Custom Enforcement, has suggested a fresh idea for Americans to report illegal immigrants who they believe are in the United States. Now, this plan would allow citizens to call a hotline to report not just illegal immigration, but also crimes like trafficking, forced labor, and other violations as well. Homan says that this would give regular Americans a chance to help make the country safer. However, there is already an existing ICE tip hotline that serves a similar purpose, taking in an average of 15,000 calls each month to report illegal immigration and other crimes like drug smuggling and terrorism. In the meantime, immigration experts like Alex from the Cato Institute have pointed out that tip line Homan's talk about already exists and has been in use for over 20 years. According to him, the new hotline might not be as effective as Homan hopes, as the current ICE line handles a broad range of crimes, not just immigration-related ones. Alex also suggested that the hotline may not be as crucial to enforcement since many of these calls don't lead to any significant operation. However, others like Mark from the Center of Immigration Studies argues that having a special hotline for illegal immigration could send a strong message. It would remind illegal immigrants that just because you are in the country doesn't mean that you are safe from deportation, specifically if they have committed a crime over there. Trump has said several times that he will focus on deporting those immigrants who have criminal records. While many studies show that immigrants are less likely to commit crimes as compared to native-born Americans, this could still be a major shift in immigration policy. In the United States, H-1B visas are very popular among Indian professionals, particularly those working in technology and medical sectors. For Indians planning to work or study in the United States, the changes in migration policy, like the potential rise in deportation and stricter visa rules, could have serious consequences. Another person who's an immigrant rights activist, Jenny Moray from the National Immigration Forum, worry that this hotline could waste resources and lead to false report or any unnecessary investigation. They believe that immigration enforcement should focus on violent criminals rather than investigating tips from random citizens. ICE's current budget is actually $9 million in a year, and it's 6,050 officers handling over 7 million cases of immigrants. So, adding unnecessary tasks could further stretch these resources. Moreover, groups like United We Dream and Immigrant Rights Organization argues that this new hotline might encourage Americans to start profiling their neighbors. This could create fear and distrust, specifically among undocumented immigrants who might now be very afraid to speak up or even seek help. In a country like the United States, which has large Indian diaspora, this could also increase racial profiling. Many Indian immigrants, specifically those on work or even student visa, may feel more vulnerable as their neighbors may start looking at them with suspicion. Well, this idea of the tip hotline may remind some people of a military group that once patrolled the southern US border. Tom Wong, an expert on US immigration policy, says that such hotline would likely embolden vigilant groups, leading to racial discrimination and making life really hard for immigrant community. If we see it from an Indian perspective, then Indians in the US, this situation could be problematic in many ways. Whether it's the H-1B visa program, which many Indians rely on for their work in the US, or simply living in the country, these new immigration policy might create a more hostile environment. The idea of encouraging people to report on their neighbors could lead to a more divided society where fear and suspicion can grow. Many Indians who have spent years working or even studying in the US might feel less secure, and this could even push some to reconsider their future in America. Now, if we talk about India, then this country has long been the top country for sending immigrants to the US, with hundreds of thousands of Indian professionals, students, and families seeking new opportunity over there. With these changes in the US immigration policy, the Indian community may have to deal with more challenges, including uncertainty about their ability to stay in the US long term. Indian students, who make up a large portion of international students in the United States, may also feel more pressure as immigration policy could become more stringent and less welcoming. In the conclusion, while the idea of a new hotline might sound like a simple solution to immigration problem, its implementation could have far-reaching consequences, specifically for Indian immigrants and those looking to move to the United States. Indian American community could be deeply affected if these policies continue to push for more aggressive immigration enforcement. It remains to be seen how these proposals will play out and whether they will lead to a kind of change Homan and others are hoping for.